Hello, everyone. Welcome to Forum Focus. I'm Wyatt Sharp. It's very good to have you with us. Today's guest is someone who I have a huge amount of respect for, and I imagine if you've seen him in the TV landscape over the years, you probably do as well. I've joined his show a number of times, and I'm glad to have him with us today for a discussion on some of the political stories over the course of the past week. Ben Mulroney, host of the Ben Mulroney Show on 640 Toronto. Thanks so much for joining me.
Wyatt, a pleasure.
Of course. Let's just start out with some of the kind of geopolitical topics that I know are quite complex. You've got into some of them on your show as well before. One of them is Canada recognizing a Palestinian state. You saw, obviously, Canada getting quite a bit of backlash from some of our allies, even overseas, and them kind of weighing in over this. From your perspective, as someone who just follows these types of things quite closely, how should we go about balancing what the government tries to see as a need to do something at home with the fact that many of our allies are looking at this and saying, why would you kind of give in to what Hamas wants?
Yeah, listen, this all happened. If you'll remember, go back to August 1st. Our prime minister set out a number of preconditions for this recognition to happen. He said that Hamas needed to lay down its arms, that the hostages needed to be released, and that Hamas could play no no part in any government of Gaza moving forward. None of those preconditions were met when our prime minister recognized a state of Palestine. I would argue that that was there was a cascading effect because that was what all of almost all of the governments had said they would do. Um, I was actually quite in favor of those preconditions being met before we did anything, and then to wake up on the eve of Rosh Hashanah, which is one of the holiest days on the Jewish
Hmm.
calendar, and to see that our government had done that was perplexing. And had I been Jewish, probably a little insulting. And that's one thing. But then to see in just today and yesterday, the United States, who has maintained its staunch allyship to Israel, alongside Israel, has laid out a 20-point plan. But really, uh, the the five biggest points, you could imagine what they are. We've just talked about some of them. They've said, Hamas needs to do all of these things, and if that happens, Israel and the Israel will leave Gaza, and peace will be imminent. And I find it ironic that had 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 Canada maintain some sort of healthy dialogue with the United States, perhaps
Hmm.
we could have played a part in that peace plan. We'll have to see if Hamas has the courage of their convictions. We'll have to see if Hamas truly does believe in a ceasefire. We'll have to believe if we'll have to wait and see if those who have been clogging our streets and making life unlivable in the Western world for the vast majority of us, demanding for exactly what Donald Trump has posited, we'll see if that comes to pass, and if it doesn't, there should be a reckoning. I suspect there won't be. I
Hmm.
suspect that we will. There are a great many people who will make excuses and twist themselves into pretzels, explaining why Hamas turning down this deal is a demonstration somehow of Israel's bad faith, and we'll burn that bridge when we get to it. But I had Canada, I believe, maintained its open door policy and open dialogue with our closest ally, both militarily and on a trade basis, and we maintain that healthy dialogue, perhaps we would have been a part of this peace plan. Instead, we we cast aside our priorities and we recognize the state that was not ready to be recognized. And perhaps I've been editorializing a little too much, Wyatt,
No,
but
go
that's
for
how I see it.
it.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, and just about 30 seconds or so here on this topic. But moving forward, one of the things I respect greatly, I mean, I heard you say on your show that you're going to Israel soon. I think so much and so many people in Canada seem to have an opinion on this topic without actually doing things like going to the region where the conflict is happening or just having kind of experiences that justify the opinions that they have. How big of an issue do you think that is?
Well, I recognize not everyone needs to go everywhere to have an opinion on that thing. It's not a binary situation. But I remember watching a Joe Rogan interview with Dave Smith, the comedian, and gosh, the British. Oh, I can't remember what his name is, but Dave Smith was making points on checkpoints, and it was very clear that he had never seen a checkpoint. So he was speaking very with great authority on the open air concentration camps of the area, and having never been there, it was pointed out to him. Well, he tried to minimize it by saying, "Well, I've never been to World War II either, and yet I have an opinion on that." To which, oh, it's Douglas Murray, and Douglas Murray said, "Well, to go to World War II, you need a time machine."